Ever notice how the same people who've been stealing from the cookie jar for the last 40 years, they start screaming, oh, this is a threat to democracy anytime somebody calls them out, right? It's like a thief getting caught and then screaming that they're a victim of racism somehow. Like it's a social construct. Isn't that what they say? Give me a fucking break. Let's cut the bullshit. These people have been in office longer than most of us have been alive, and they want to call a man who's been in politics less than 5 years a king? A fucking joke. Because the truth is, they're not defending democracy. They're defending their own racket. Because democracy, it isn't what they pretend it is. Democracy means mob rule, and that's exactly what we're living in right now. Rule by mobs, with mainstream media diverting the fallout with emotional manipulation to control the populace with talking heads that appear to be your friends, and then musicians who all choose one side. Then you got movie stars who call conservatives Nazis and fascists. You got influencers who are blurring the lines between what morals they stand for, and everybody gravitating towards the same weird shit that we're living in right now. I'm fucking tired of it. It's leverage to overturn America, and it's sure as hell not by using truth. I'll tell you that much. We were never meant to be a democracy. Democracy means that if you have opposing views from the mob, you get fucking steamrolled. We were warned about this by our founding fathers. They never intended for America to even have a thread of democracy woven into our constitutional republic. And if you still can't understand the difference, it means that law and accountability sit above emotion and mob pressure. It means that your rights don't vanish just because the loudest crowd wants to force you to conform to something that you don't believe in. But these career politicians, the ones who've been in office longer than most of us have been alive, they've turned the word democracy into a shield for their corruption. They want to condition you into the idea of a democracy by using the word endlessly. They want to normalize it. That's how they do it. And I'll tell you right now, with all the conviction I can muster, anytime you hear somebody utter that despicable word, just know that they're telling you a bald-faced lie. No two ways about it. And here's the thing. Those same people who point to anybody who challenges them and they scream, you know, you're a king, you're a dictator, you're a threat, they all sit on their lifetime paychecks, insider trading portfolios, decades of taxpayer-funded luxury. Give me a fucking break. Get out of here. When you hear this bullshit, I'll tell you what it is. It's a projection. They're the ones who've been ruling like monarchs. They're the ones who've bled this country dry, and now that somebody is finally cutting them off, they're losing their minds. And it's not just one side or one class either. The corrupt elites and the lazy, jobless losers who are meandering the streets in clown makeup, calling themselves revolutionaries at these No Kings protests, they're all two sides of the same decaying coin, and they're both screaming because the free ride is over. It's not just politicians. It's these lazy protesters living off the system that are melting down right alongside them. Because the second you take away their cookie jar, the tantrums start. You could see both of them panicking. The politicians who built the system and the dependents who fed off it, united in that same outrage that accountability finally showed up. See, when you expose corruption, you expose dependence. They need the chaos to stay relevant. They need the division to cling to control. But when law and order return, when somebody comes in and says enough is enough, they panic. Because a nation run by strong, principled leadership, it means their days of unchecked power are over. They call it a threat to democracy. I call it a return to accountability and a restoration of balance. Because we've all seen what happened when balance goes unchecked for years on end. And make no mistake, this isn't about one man. It's about every man who's had enough of being lied to, of being overtaxed, of being silenced, and of being treated like a pawn. It's about the working man. It's about the rancher. It's about the veteran. It's about the father. It's about the builder who's ready to take his country back. Because a society of strong men would never have allowed what they've done to this great American nation. And if you want to be surrounded by like-minded men who want to restore things back to the way that they used to be, join us in our brotherhood. The link is up top in my bio, and I'll see you in there, brother.